getting ready for elk season, and you know, we're shooting our broadheads and checking everything, and I'm hitting just a little bit left. The great thing about the Excel AccuTouch sight is one flip of a switch here, little red button, you have micro adjust to take your left and right out, make you hit down the pipe. As a young man, my friends went out west. They came back telling these stories of bugling bulls in their face, shaking their soul. I desperately wanted to go out west elk hunting, but I had made up my mind I was going to shoot a 170-inch deer with my bow and arrow before I went elk hunting. At 40 years old, I decided I had better go elk hunting, or I was going to be too old to do it. And after I went, I was hooked, hook, line, and sinker. I haven't missed a year since then, and elk hunting is a passion I hope to do until I can't do it anymore. Jamie Hayes and I last year went out to New Mexico and hunted with A3 Outfitters in Jordan Hall. Jamie took his very first bull elk ever. He was extremely excited. We had many encounters on the hunt and just a great time. It was New Mexico as usual.
Look how big he is. Awesome. We got good penetration. This is my first bull, so I'm super, super, super pumped.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by the Ultra Rest by Quality Archery Designs, America's archery accessories. Sitka, turning clothing into gear. Dead Center Archery Products, American-made precision-engineered stabilization solutions. And Shine's Scents, make a deer's nose his worst enemy.
Ever since I went out west and went to New Mexico, the unit I've always heard about is 16D. And it's just a phenomenal unit. It probably has as many 400-inch bulls killed in that unit as any other unit in New Mexico. You know, last year Jamie got a bull and I did not, which I'm perfectly happy for my friend to get a bull. But I was really hoping to draw this year. I put in for 16D as I have for the last 12 years, and finally I drew 16D. I called up my good friend Jordan Hall at A3 Outfitters, and he hooked me up. A3 Outfitters, New Mexico, Jordan Hall, the man himself. We're in unit 16D, and we're gonna kill a giant wapiti. Yes, we are. I've been waiting on this tag for 12 years. Jordan puts me in one time, I draw it. Jordan Hall and A3 Outfitters, they do a great job. They have a wonderful camp. We ate wonderfully. We were parked in a beautiful area with lots of scenery. We had elk bugling at night. The conventional lodges are nice, but I tell you, in September, you know, camping out, you know, sleeping in wall tents, having meals made over open fire, it's just a phenomenal experience. September 3rd. We're here with Jordan Hall in A3 Trophy Hunts, New Mexico. We're hunting some big bulls. We're in the first season, so they're not super cranked up yet. We are getting cool weather, which I think will create an early rut. We're also at about 9,500 foot in elevation. But we're just waiting to find the right bull. For the majority of the 12 years I've been putting in for New Mexico 16D, I've put in for the last season, or it used to be the third season, and now they split their seasons in 2 seasons, first and second. So I've been putting in for the last half of the hunt, which always guarantees you to be in the rut. When hunting a trophy bull, a lot of times, once the rut started and a trophy bull has cows rounded up, there's so many eyes on you, it's almost impossible to have success. You got satellite bulls, you got cows, there can be 30, 40 elk in a herd. So Jordan and I decided to put in this year for the first hunt, the 1st through the 14th, because those bulls aren't with cows yet, and they don't have satellite bulls all around them. You locate that bull and it's a little easier to get in on them, fewer eyes. Maybe not hear them as much, but once you locate one, the chance of success could be better.
This segment brought to you by Matthews Archery.
Today we're going to talk about target panic. Everybody that ever has shot a bow gets target panic. Most of us live with a form of target panic, and it's very important to realize this. And there's a few things that you can do, steps you can take to help minimize that target panic. Number 1, blind bale shooting. One of the most boring things you'll ever do as an archer. But there again, the animal deserves your practice. Blind bale shooting is standing at close range, continually working through your shot, not really focusing on aiming, but just thinking about the shot. Blind bale shooting, like I said, is repetitive and very boring, but it allows your mind to repetitively do the same thing over and over, so that that becomes your default when you draw back and it's game time. Morning, September 7th. We're back to the place where we called in the 5x5 day before yesterday. We got a bull on the hill here, bugling at us. We're going after him. Our first encounter with Jordan Hall and A3 Outfitters, we had a bull that came off the side of the hill coming to us, just growling his head off. Sounded like the biggest bull in the woods. He was just a lot of bark and not a whole lot of bite. Little bull, you see him? He's a 6x6, maybe 290. But these other bulls may be better. But that's him up here. He circled around trying to get our wind. But that's him up on the hill. Okay. He came all the way around. He stopped down there at about 25 yards. Get some good footage. Yeah. Aaron laid it down. But yeah, we got them rolling. We might as well go get them, huh?
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by True Ball Archery, the real #1. Anyone can claim it, we can prove it. Axel Sights and Scopes, leading technology, proven results. Black Eagle Arrows, the best precision carbon arrows. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. And SWAT Broadheads, drain your game.
encounters continued, and they just gradually got bigger. And we had an encounter, I guess it was about mid to just past midway of the hunt, with two bulls. You could tell that they were aggressively mad at each other and really close to each other. So we took off after those bulls at a run, hoping to catch them fighting and get in on the bull we were after. You know, there's highs and lows on any hunt, and you know, we'd been taken up really high. We had two bulls fighting, and great bulls decided to pass. The next morning, you know, we thought it was going to come together. We had a bull that we came to New Mexico for, that we waited 12 years on the tag for, and we could see him, but it just didn't work out. Well, with all this commotion going on with the elk and the circumstances, you know, with the hunt and the hunt winding down, I hadn't talked to my wife in a few days, so I went out and talked to her, and she had bad news. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer back in March. She was doing fairly well and taking chemo treatments, but in the course of a week, she took a terrible turn and it wasn't looking good. So my wife told me that, you know, it would probably be best for me to come home. So we packed up our stuff and made a 36-hour trip home. And by God's good graces, I got home before my mother-in-law passed away. Got to spend 2 days with her before she left this earth. We get home from our elk hunt. We get to spend 2 days with our mother-in-law before she passes. And then we're just home with family, you know, reflecting and spending time with them for the next month, month and a half. And then, you know, the end of October's coming, and as Nana would say, go catch a big one, Bill. So we packed up and headed to my favorite place in the whole world in the Midwest, the Hunt Club in Illinois.